Bond.
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 James Bond.
Bond. James Bond. Yep, that's right. We're talking about James Bond. I'm just kidding. We're talking about car dealer bonds. So follow me over to my computer and let's get into car dealer bonds. All right, step number 4 of the car dealer's license. So this is my journey, and these are the steps that I took to obtain my car dealer's license in the state of California. And in my opinion, step number 4 is the car dealer bond. So let's go ahead and get right into what a car dealer bond is. So what are car dealer bonds? So the first bullet point, dealer bonds fall into the category of license and premium surety bonds because they are required as a condition of obtaining a license to operate a dealership in the state of California. For those of you guys that are watching this video from other states, just check your local DMV listing as to what's required for you to obtain a car dealer's license in your state. Bullet point number 2, the purpose of the bond is to protect the state and consumers from any financial loss stemming from the dealer's failure to abide by all relevant state rules and regulations as set forth in the terms and conditions of the surety bond agreement. The bond penalty amount, $50,000. The bond term, it's good for 1 year. And the bond expiration date varies depending on when you actually purchase your bond. So who needs a car dealer bond? All retail dealers selling new and or used vehicles other than motorcycles and ATVs are required to purchase a $50,000 auto dealer bond. Dealers selling new and or used motorcycles and ATVs are obligated to purchase a bond in the amount of $10,000. And dealers who sell wholesale only and sell fewer than 25 vehicles a year also must purchase a motor vehicle bond in the amount of $10,000. If you plan on purchasing more than 25 vehicles and have a wholesale license, then you would be required to purchase a $50,000 bond. So how do car dealer bonds work? So there are 3 parties to a motor vehicle dealer bond contract, and they are the organization requiring the bond, which in this case is the California Department of Motor Vehicles Licensing Operations Division, the principal, which would be you, the owner of the dealership, and the surety, that's the company that underwrites and issues the bond. Each of these parties has specific rights and responsibilities under the terms and conditions of the surety bond agreement. The California Department of Motor Vehicles has established the required bond amount and the specific rules the dealer must comply with in order to avoid claims against the bond. If the dealer fails to operate within those rules, any party who suffers a financial loss as a consequence of the dealer's actions is entitled to submit a claim against the bond. So what happens if there is a claim? So the surety company will investigate each claim to ensure that it is valid. If it is, the surety will make a payment to the claimant as an advance on behalf of the dealer. This does not relieve you or the dealer of any financial obligation. It simply gives the dealer time to come up with the funds to make the payment. The indemnification clause included in the bond agreement requires that the dealer reimburse the surety within an agreed upon period of time. So basically, be honest, don't rip off the consumers because you are still liable at the end of the day. This is basically like a loan. So the bond company is going to front the money up front, and then if you are on the losing end of the claim, then you would be required to reimburse the surety bond company. So here we go. Sorry about that. So how much do car dealer bonds cost? So the required bond amount may seem like a lot of money, but the dealer only pays a small percentage of that amount as the premium for the bond. The surety takes into account a number of factors, most notably the dealer's personal credit score in determining the premium rate. So obviously, the better your credit score is, the better your chances of getting a lower price point. If you have terrible credit, don't worry, you could still obtain a car dealer bond. You just might have to pay a higher price. Okay, so the better your credit score is, the lower your pay. The worse your credit score is, the higher you pay. You can expect to pay anywhere from 0.9% to 5% of the bond penalty amount if you maintain good credit. For individuals with lower credit ratings, they can still offer the most competitive premiums, with financing sometimes being an option. So even if you can't, let's say it's $5,000 and you can't come up with the full amount up front, depending on the company, they actually might offer financing. So don't automatically give up on your dreams of becoming a car dealer. There are ways to purchase the bond amount. And I'm just basically going over the information on what a car dealer bond is and all the actions necessary for that dealer bond. So with that being said, there's two types of credit checks. There's a soft versus hard inquiry. So let's go into each one. When a lender or creditor asks a credit bureau to run your credit report, that inquiry may get noted as part of your credit history. There are two types of inquiry. There's a soft and hard credit inquiry. A hard inquiry occurs when a lender with whom you've applied for credit reviews your credit report as part of the decision-making process. This type of inquiry appears on your credit report and can influence your credit scores. A soft inquiry occurs in cases where you check your own credit or when a lender, credit card, or insurance bond company checks your credit to pre-approve you for an offer. Soft inquiries do not impact your credit scores. So with that being said, what I did and what I would actually recommend doing, and this is not legal advice, this is just my own personal opinion, and this is how I did it, is knowing that I talked to the companies, and that was the first question I asked. I said, I'm interested in pursuing my car dealer's license, and I'm seeking a retail license, which requires me to obtain a $50,000 bond. And I want to know, does your company run a hard inquiry or a soft inquiry? The three companies that I called, all of them said that they run a soft inquiry. So what I did is I completed the bond application and I submitted the application and called all three companies so that way they would run the soft inquiry credit check back to back to back. So it wasn't going to affect my credit score or cause any red flags because it was so close in the way that they ran the review of my credit score. And all three companies, at first, every single one of them said $750, which would indicate a 1.5% of the $50,000 bond. And so I played it as if you were a car dealer. That was what I said. I said, oh, you know what? I still got a couple other offers. I'm still waiting on some other offers from a couple other companies. I'll let you know about this $750 quote. And I called all three companies. They're all quoting $750. And so I said the same thing to all three companies. All right, I still got a couple more offers out there, or got a couple more bids out there, and I'll let you know. And sure enough, within a couple hours after me declining all three of them, their $750 offer, one of the companies called me back and said, all right, you know what? I've made a few phone calls on your behalf, and I can actually get it down to $500, which is actually 1% of the $50,000 fee. And I said, all right, you got it. You got my business. So I submitted my payment, and they issued a bond agreement, and that's what I was able to use with the DMV. And so this is actually what it looks like. I did block out my pertinent information, my personal business information. But as you can see, the premium amount, and this is what I paid, was $500. And then there was a small fee for the agent. I think I paid no more than $50 for the fee. So realistically, the agent is not making any money. They're really not making any money. I think he made like $25 or, off that 50 because he had to pay another agent part of that $50. So what they're actually going to do, and what they really are seeking that bond for you, is because they want to sell you the insurance for the vehicles. So once you get your car dealer's license, depending on the state, so California, for whatever reason, it's not a requirement to obtain your car dealer's license that you get a dealer insurance. It is recommended, but it is not required in the state of California. But that's really what they want. They want your business for your car dealer insurance, and that's where they're going to make their money. They're not making any money off the, selling you the bond. They're making the money off the car dealer insurance. But just because you purchase the bond from them doesn't automatically mean that you have to purchase your car dealer insurance through that person that you got the bond from. And you would do the same thing again. Call up several companies if you decide to get the car dealer insurance and find out the best price point for your car dealership. All right, well, I want to thank you for tuning in to step 4 of the car dealer's license. Do me a big favor, hit that like, comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Take care.